You've been doing everything right. Clean meals, hard workouts, counting every calorie. And that belly fat is still sitting there like it owns the place. Here is the part nobody tells you. The problem is not your diet. It is not your gym routine. It is not your willpower. The problem is your first 60 minutes after waking up. And there is a very specific, very measurable reason why what you do in that window either unlocks fat burning for the entire day or shuts it down completely before you have even brushed your teeth. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you will never start your morning the same way again. Most people think fat loss happens in the gym. Some think it happens in the kitchen. But your body does not actually make fat-burning decisions based on reps or macros. It makes them based on hormonal signals. And there is one critical window, right after you wake up, during which your body is reading those signals and deciding whether to spend the day burning fat or storing it. That window is roughly 45 to 60 minutes long. Miss it, and you are fighting your own biology all day. Work with it, and your body does the heavy lifting for you, even on rest days. The hormone responsible for this is cortisol. Now, before you tune out because you have heard the word cortisol before, stick with me. Because what most people do not know is that visceral fat, the deep belly fat wrapped around your organs, contains far more cortisol receptors than any other fat tissue in the entire body. That is not a small detail. That is the whole game. When cortisol spikes first thing in the morning, your body activates an enzyme. It is called lipoprotein lipase. Think of this enzyme as a gate. When it opens, your body pulls circulating energy from your bloodstream and locks it directly into abdominal fat storage. Once that gate opens in the morning, nothing you do later in the day can fully close it. Not your workout, not your healthy lunch, not your evening walk. The hormonal decision was already made in that first hour. This is why two people can follow the same exact diet and exercise plan and get completely different results. The one who wins is not always the one who works harder. It is the one whose cortisol is behaving correctly in the morning. So the real question is, what is raising your cortisol in the morning? And what can you do about it in under 10 minutes total? There are 5 signals. Each one takes less than 2 minutes. Each one directly tells your body to stop storing fat and start releasing it. Before I go through all 5, I want to ask you something. If this is new information for you, if nobody ever explained why your belly fat is still there despite all the effort you are putting in, hit that follow button right now. I break down body science in a way that actually makes sense, and I post consistently. You do not want to miss what is coming next week. Now let us keep going. The 5 signals. Signal 1. Water with minerals the second you wake up. The first thing your body experiences every morning is dehydration. You've gone 6 to 8 hours without water. Your adrenal system reads this as a sign of scarcity. And when your body senses scarcity, cortisol rises immediately to protect resources. A glass of water with a small pinch of salt or a splash of electrolytes sends the opposite message. It signals to your adrenals that resources are available, conditions are safe, and there is no emergency to respond to. Cortisol begins to drop within minutes, before you have even walked out of your bedroom. This one costs nothing. It takes 30 seconds. And it is one of the most powerful metabolic resets you can give your body first thing in the morning. Signal 2. Natural light within 30 minutes. Your eyes contain specialized cells that have one job. They detect natural sunlight and send a direct signal to a part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That signal tells your body the environment is safe, the threat level is low, and it is appropriate to begin calming cortisol down. Artificial lighting, including your phone screen, your overhead bulb, and your TV, does not send this signal. It sends a weak and confusing version of it, and your body takes hours longer to regulate as a result. Step outside. Stand near a window. You do not need direct sunlight or warm weather. You just need natural light hitting your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking. 2 minutes outside is enough to trigger the response. Signal 3. Do not touch your coffee for 90 minutes. This one is hard to hear, but here is the truth. Caffeine consumed immediately after waking does not just give you energy. It amplifies cortisol during the most sensitive hormonal window of your entire day. It makes your adrenal response stronger, not weaker. And because of those extra cortisol receptors in abdominal fat, the fat storage signal that follows is more intense. Wait 90 minutes. Your cortisol naturally rises after waking on its own, peaks, and then begins to fall. When you drink coffee after that natural decline, you get the caffeine benefit without the cortisol spike. Same cup of coffee, completely different metabolic outcome just based on timing. Signal 4. Slow walking, not hard training. Intense exercise in the morning, the kind where you are pushing hard elevates cortisol. Your nervous system reads maximum exertion as a biological emergency and floods your system with stress hormones to match. If you train hard early in the morning and your cortisol is already elevated, you are adding fuel to a fire you are trying to put out. Slow walking does the opposite. When you move forward at a relaxed pace, your eyes create something called optic flow, a continuous visual input of the environment moving past you. Research shows this specific visual pattern has a direct calming effect on the nervous system and lowers stress hormone output. A 10-minute slow walk, no heart rate goals, no intensity targets, lowers cortisol, keeps lipoprotein lipase inactive, and sets your body up to access fat for energy throughout the rest of the day. Signal 5. Stay off your phone for 30 minutes. Your phone is a cortisol machine in the morning. The moment you open it, you are flooding your nervous system with social comparison, news, notifications, unread messages, and decisions. Your brain, which is not yet fully calibrated for the day, interprets that flood as low-grade threat. Cortisol stays elevated past its natural peak, and the fat storage window extends. 30 minutes of phone-free time after waking allows your parasympathetic nervous system to come online. Your stress response quiets, your hormones stabilize, and your body finally gets the signal that it does not need to hold on to abdominal fat as an emergency fuel reserve. What happens when you get this right? When all 5 of these signals are present, something shifts that no calorie deficit alone can produce. Cortisol follows its natural arc. It rises slightly after waking and then declines smoothly. Lipoprotein lipase, that fat storage enzyme, stays inactive. Your visceral fat becomes accessible as an energy source rather than a storage site. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your appetite regulates itself without restriction. Fat loss starts to happen as a result of correct biological signaling, not as a result of force. Your body was never broken, it was never resistant, it was always just responding to the signals it received. And most of those signals were accidentally telling it to store, not release. The 60 minutes after you wake up are the most hormonally powerful window of your day. Everything your body does for the next 12 to 14 hours is shaped by what happens in that window. Change the signals. Change the outcome. If this shifted how you think about fat loss, share it with someone who is doing everything right and still not seeing results. They need to see this. And if you want more body science that actually explains why things work, not just what to do, follow along. I post this kind of content regularly, and there is a lot more coming. See you in the next one.